So supporters are now in a rage. Take this. The same referee crew was recently assigned by the WNBA. From that catastrophe connects the Mercury game to the Las Vegas Aces versus Indiana Fever matchup.
It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those three people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players and gets cracked, and there's no call, and all of them said it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't have that. I didn't see it that.
Yes, you heard correctly. These referees, who previously suspended Cheryl Reeves, are now in charge of Caitlin Clark's most difficult playoff task to date. People are referring to this entire situation as pure corruption, really. It raises the question of whether the league intentionally chose these referees in an effort to slant the game.
Let's jump right in. I want to start with the play that set off all of the chaos. Everything else that we will talk about, there is one play that set off all of it, and it is this steal that Alyssa Thomas made on Napheesa Collier. So this was at the end of the game. Fee is dribbling down, and Alyssa Thomas goes across her body, steals the ball, and then takes the ball full court for a layup on the other end, and that pretty much sealed the deal for the Phoenix Mercury. They won last night's game, but I want to show you guys the close-up. This was not ruled a foul, and I am dumbfounded by the amount of people online, even the amount of professionals online who are saying that this is no foul. And the reason that they're saying that it is no foul is, as you can see here, Alyssa Thomas reaches across, and when she reaches across, you can pause the video here, she gets all ball first. Okay, so no, was there any foul when she was tapping the ball away? No, it seems like there's no contact there. She strips the ball clean. But as you can see, the angle in which Alyssa Thomas is running across Fee, Fee's going this way, Alyssa Thomas is going this way. Fee is in full motion. You can even see, again, with this screenshot, the angle in which Fee's body is going. She is going full speed in one direction. She is running in one direction, and Alyssa Thomas cuts her off in that regard.
Okay, let's go right into this problem because, in all honesty, the WNBA has lost the plot entirely. Introducing Jana, Randy Richardson, and Isaac Barnett. The same team who completely messed up the Minnesota game that led to the Fever versus Aces semifinal. That's absolutely crazy. The choice is not merely tone deaf. Fans are already criticizing the league for its ineptitude, so this is a major slap in the face.
Who was it that asked about officiating before the game? Is that you, Kendra? And we talked about how dangerous it can be. You're hearing it from the other series. You're hearing other coaches. You're hearing Becky talk about when you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants.
Before the game, who was it that inquired about officiating? You mean that, Kendra? Well, and we discussed the potential dangers. From the other series, you're hearing it. Other coaches are speaking to you. You're listening to Becky discuss how people get harmed when you allow physicality to occur. There are fights, I guess. And this is the appearance that our league desires. Now, let's discuss what truly transpired during the Lynx Mercury game. Please understand that Cheryl Ree didn't just blow up without cause. She saw firsthand how Alyssa Thomas beat up Napheesa Collier without any warnings, safeguards, or consistency from the referees. Even as Collier was limping off the floor in pain, the referees pretended like nothing was wrong. However, she was suspended and fined when Rev dared to demand some responsibility. Her helpers were fined, as well. Simply pointing out the obvious resulted in punishment for the entire coaching staff. The officiating was utterly pathetic.
We were trying to play through it. We tried to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0. And she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. had her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out and probably has a fracture. And so if this is what our league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership.
Let's fast forward to the present day. Despite Caitlin Clark missing portions of the season due to injury, the Fever completely fought their way into the postseason. They turned into the plot. Really, the ratings for every Fever game were quite high. Arenas were full for every game. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Clark. It brought excitement back to the WNBA. How does the league then recognize and reward all of that momentum? By giving them the same referees who just made the sport look bad. Fans aren't stupid, are they? They notice the trend. These referees are already known for their uneven play, petty, and just careless. Additionally, they are now hosting Clark's largest stage, which is not just dubious, but utterly careless. Let's take a moment to analyze that Lynx-Mercury game. Minnesota enjoyed a 10 rebounding advantage and shot 13 for 21 from the free throw line. They lost, nevertheless.
Why?
Because each time Phoenix became violent, the referees simply swallowed their whistle. Alyssa Thomas had the opportunity to receive a dozen foul calls, but she didn't. Collier was leaving the court with a limp. Those references walked away unharmed when Cheryl Reeve erupted. Now, Clark, Boston, and Mitchell will be managed by the same referees against Ija Wilson, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray. This is malpractice. Come on. Throughout the game, we even witnessed Lexi Hall being jostled. The elbows flying. The receipts are also owned by the fans. It was directly reported by Scott Agnes. Randy Richardson, Janae, and Isaac Barnett will run the Fever Aces semifinal. The same group. No responsibility, no changes. In essence, the league said, "We don't care that you despise them." People are referring to this as corruption for that reason. Because this is the precise method you would employ to slant the odds in favor of Vegas. You give them referees who have already forgiven them, referees who discipline coaches for raising their voices, and referees who remain silent when the game becomes violent. And who does, given that the Aces thrive on physicality? That specifically help? Furthermore, let's not pretend that this is novel. All season long, fans have been griping about the refereeing, particularly with regard to Caitlin Clark. With hardly a whine, she has been tripped, elbowed, shoved, and hacked. As in hockey, opposing players check each other's bodies. Referees choose to ignore the league's most valued star rather than defend him. Additionally, there are fines and bans when someone calls it out. It's become so clear that even casual admirers are wondering if the league genuinely wants Clark to be successful. I mean, it's that terrible. Rather than taking advantage of the Clark effect, referees who don't appear to care about fair play are undermining it. The worst part is still to come. According to the WNBA, they wish to expand the sport. In their ads, they implore viewers to embrace the new generation. They then appoint the most despised referee crew to the main event in the most watched playoff run in years. That isn't progress. It's self-defeating. Take a look at the stakes. Aces vs. Fever might have been the year's best series. The reigning MVP and face of the Aces dynasty, A.A. Wilson, will meet second-year sensation Caitlin Clark. Wilson is up against Boston in the paint Mitchell vs. Young. This has every element necessary to become a classic. However, rather than promoting the game, everyone is complaining about the official. There is no discussion among fans about rotations, matches, or strategy. They are discussing whether Clark will make it through the officiating process at all. That is pitiful, and the league is to blame. Let's discuss these referees in more detail. Isaac Barnett is noted for his lightning-fast technicals. He'll give them away out of sheer annoyance. Therefore, it's tech if Clark claps her hands following a missed call. Tech will intervene if White challenges a whistle too forcefully. Wilson can destroy Boston in the paint in the interim, but for some reason, it's a no call. At best, Randy Richardson is inconsistent. One item. Touch fouls come first, followed by WWE wrestling. Nothing but chaos, no rhythm, no stability. And the third member, Jana. Among the three, when the game gets difficult, she vanishes, which is why fans refer to her as invisible. The semifinals are being run by that person. This goes beyond a simple plot. It lacks competence. Furthermore, corruption feels a lot like ineptitude at this level. This has been widely shared on social media by fans. How do you assign the same referees who just gave a coach a suspension? How can you use officials that everyone despises to safeguard a product? How can you disregard your own paying clients? The solutions are straightforward. The WNBA is indifferent. In any case, they are counting on fans to watch. They believe that controversy is equivalent to views, but unfair controversy simply destroys credibility. Let's now include Caitlin Clark in this. She is in her second year. In the league, she is the most well-known figure. On the road, she sells out arenas. She breaks records for ratings. The league is essentially challenging referees to swallow the whistle once more rather than shielding her. All season long, fans watched her be slammed, and now she's playing in the playoffs with the same officials. What specifically do you believe will occur? Since Clark's injury, Boston has already taken on additional responsibility. Mitchell has taken charge. Lexi Hall has persevered despite suffering. This group has put in a lot of effort to succeed. Here, as well as the league's grand scheme, put them in front of the three officials who have already caused the sport to look bad. Fans are furious because of this. Additionally, keep in mind that the Aces are the WNBA's golden child. The money market is Vegas. They possess the star power, the glitz, and the ownership. They must make it to the finals, according to the league. Everyone is aware of it. Therefore, it doesn't seem like a coincidence when supporters see the same referees who ostensibly saved them before assigning them again. It appears to be favoritism, and favoritism erodes confidence. The purpose of sports is to foster competition on merit. You win or lose. However, supporters lose faith when the referees take center stage. And after fans quit, they cease to observe, believing. Sponsors also stop making payments after they stop watching. That's the precipice the WNBA is currently on. Let's not mince words. Referees are not the reason why fans watch playoff games. To watch the stars shine, they tune in. Caitlin Clark hitting logo threes is what they want to see. They want to watch Boston and Elle Wilson square up in the paint. They're hoping to see defenders for Mitchell Cook. However, the referees are now the main attraction. That's the issue. There is more to it than a single game. It has to do with a distinct pattern. The WNBA has repeatedly demonstrated that they will shield some players while allowing others to be hacked. The whistle is blown for Wilson. Clark receives elbows. Stewart receives phone calls. Boston is robbed. Fans are going crazy about this double standard. They're not dumb. They are able to observe who the league wants promoted. Let's now discuss what might occur if this crew does, in fact, affect the result. Imagine a tight one going against the Fever. Mitchell is burning. Boston is struggling. Clark is drawing twice. Then Boston is eliminated by a phantom foul. Alternatively, Clark is struck in the arm. Not a whistle. Break quickly the other way. It was momentum that killed. Basketball isn't that. It's manipulation. Fans will also not overlook it. The consequences have already been observed. Following the Lynx match, Cheryl Reeve lost her mind. In a news conference, Reeves yelled at referees, swore at spectators, and attacked the league. Instead of, the WNBA banned the league's most successful coach for pointing out the facts after acknowledging that the officials made a mistake. Caitlin Clark's semifinal is now decided by those same referees. It's not simply poor visuals. That's hilarious. Fans believe the league is deliberately working against them, which is precisely why they are furious. Instead of celebrating the Fever's ascent to contention, the league casts them into a web of dishonest officials. The golden franchise is Vegas. Receives the advantage. The underdog, Indiana, who genuinely generates ratings, loses. It's entirely reversed. And the kicker is here. Fans aren't even interested in seeing another AC make it to the finals. Social media surveys confirm it. Attend parties to witness it. It's evident from viewership figures. People are sick with Vegas being the center of attention all the time. They're looking for fresh blood. They want Mitchell, Boston, and Clark to perform on the grandest platform. That's how the game gets bigger. That's how you get casual admirers. However, the league doubles down on the ace rather than relying on that. Don't assume that fans haven't noticed either. Examine the remarks left on each and every league post. Corrupt, rigged, and looking out for Caitlyn. The game is being ruined by referees. There are more than a few trolls here. This is the audience that pays. These are the ones who purchase tickets, watch games online. They feel deceived by the fact that they are wearing jerseys. The situation has gotten so terrible that rival coaches are calling out. Becky Hammond publicly criticized officiating earlier this year, and she has no justification for defending Indiana. The fact that even the league's golden franchise is challenging the referees shows how prevalent the annoyance is. This is a crisis for you. What does this leave us with, then? Every whistle, or lack thereof, will be examined in the semifinal that the Fever are facing. When Clark is bumped, fans will always yell conspiracy. Fans will get furious every time Wilson receives a soft call. And the league established that atmosphere by putting the staff to work. Let's investigate the cause of this. Favoritism, according to some. Some claim it's pure incapacity. It's both, to be honest. Although Vegas is showy and has enough good referees to handle these high-pressure games, the WNBA still wants them in the finals. Therefore, even when those referees have already blown calls, they continue to use the same names. That is a surefire way to end badly. This is the height of irony. The league's moneymaker is Caitlyn Clark. She is the one that boosts attendance, sells out arenas, and invests in the pocket of the league. However, they are positioning her to get hammered without calls rather than protecting her. That's biting the hand that provides you with food. Let's examine each player separately. All year long, Boston has served as the anchor. She has established she belongs in the MVP discussion by battling Wilson toe-to-toe. However, observe how the referees treat her. Boston is inexplicably whistled when Wilson throws elbows in the post. She has been the talk of the season, and the playoffs are going to make it much more so. Although Kelsey Mitchell has occasionally carried the Fever, the league does not adore her. So, don't expect whistles when she drives into touch. Jackie Young, meantime, she is at the line and breathing close to a defender. Competitive equilibrium is destroyed, and momentum is killed by that imbalance. And next up is Clark, the league's top attraction. She has been constantly hacked, and every fan in the building is there to see her. The referees are not protective. Rather, they simply observe her being pushed to the ground, shake it off, and continue. The fans are tired. They are not requesting preferential treatment. They're requesting equity. Conspiracy theories are so popular because of this. Because people believe it's deliberate when the officiating is this inconsistent. Additionally, you lose supporters once they think the league is rigged. Marketing won't be able to change that. Let's discuss the wider picture as well. The WNBA has been attempting to capitalize on this expansion. Ratings, attendance, and merchandise are all up, yet instead of demonstrating fair basketball competition, the headlines are being dominated by referees. It's self-defeating. This would not be permitted in any other major league. Although the NBA has its problems, last-minute reports are issued when referees fail to call a call. They make referees answerable. Despite its controversies, the NFL rotates its workers to prevent confrontations. WNBA. The same referees who just created mayhem are recycled. Amateur hour is upon us. Transparency is what fans desire. They desire responsibility. They want to think that the players decide the result, not the whistle. They don't think that at the moment. Furthermore, the league is not making any efforts to influence their decision. This is where it hurts the most. This series has the potential to be fantastic. Boston versus Young, Mitchell versus Gray, and Clark versus Wilson. Two teams are fighting for the last position. Rather, the plot revolves around which referee makes a mistake first. It's embarrassing. And let's face it, fans will not rejoice if Vegas advances on the basis of dubious officiating. They will simply ignore it. Aces. Nobody wants to face Mercury in the championship game. Fans are already rejecting it, according to polls. They would much rather watch any battle involving Clark, such as Fever vs. Liberty or Fever vs. Aces. The league is aware that the ratings will plummet without her.
Here is the bottom line, then.
This crew's assignment wasn't only an error. It was treacherous. A betrayal of athletes who are entitled to fair play. Fans who deserve fair entertainment are betrayed. Furthermore, a betrayal of the league's pledge to expand the game. Your audience will not increase if you alienate them. You don't develop by undermining your potential. There's a reason why fans are furious. They've had enough. They desire responsibility. Fairness is what they desire. The players, not the referees, should once again control the game. Every whistle will be questioned, every game will feel contaminated, and every fan will doubt whether the WNBA truly wants them to watch until the league delivers that.